In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the documentation for the assembly of each of the parts. So the first thing that you need to do is you go down here to the bottom where it says Insert New Element, and we're going to create a drawing file. Make sure that you select the ANSI A millimeter. There are a few options. If it doesn't show this, then make sure that you click on Show OnShape Drawing Templates. And you should be able to see several different choices. So you have ANSI A, which is the size of the paper. ANSI B is a bigger paper, and C, and so on. Choose the, which is the landscape, not the portrait, millimeter version. Click OK. Once it loads, we are beginning to see that it is a different type of menu. So in this menu, you'll notice that the first thing that pops up is this select part assembly. Even if it doesn't pop up, you can still access that menu from up here where it says insert view. And then after you click that, you would insert here. And then it starts looking for your part. What this drawing page is going to do, this is the part where you get to show for the manufacturing process what parts need to be built. So you need to get the part and you need to start giving it all dimensions so that the person that's going to build it has all the necessary info. So I'm going to click right here and we're going to start with the steel ring since that's one of the easiest ones. And I'm going to select steel ring. Now, in the beginning, you'll see how it's going to put the orientation like on the front. When we made this on the front, it's going to look like a rectangle. So we actually want to select the top view because that's the view with the most features. And that's how we started creating the ring. It was a circle. So I'm going to drop it right here. And that's our ring. And now this is going to project. Imagine if you have the front view and you flipped it over to the top side. So that's what the front view is going to project to the top view. So this is now the top view. If you want to create more projections, you can click on the object again. Since we are in the projection view, if you click on the front and then you take it to the right, it's going to project to the right. If you click on the front again, you're going to project, and we can create an isometric projection if you were to look at it at this angle. So we'll usually put isometric views away from these views. These views are considered to be 2D because they're flat. So this is the front view, top view, right side view. Top view because it's on the top, right side view because it's on the right. And then this is isometric view because, well, it's not part of the multi-view, but it is showing you what that part looks like overall. So I'm going to press escape so that I can exit my projection command. And I am going to right click and click on show hide shaded view. This is the only part that you really want to show shaded, nothing else. Now, right here, it does look like it's just a circle, but if you were to really, really zoom in, it's actually a double line. If you really zoom in, because the steel ring has a thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on dimension, and I'm going to put, it's a huge arrow because I'm really, really zoomed in. Let me just put that here, and I'm going to make another one just so that you can see the thickness, and I'm going to click in the inside one. So we're going to take a look at the difference between these two. So this is 90, not centimeters, even though we did it in centimeters, but remember the page that we clicked on is in millimeters. So the measurement of this is 90 millimeters, and this is 89.92. So if you remember when we were doing the thickness, it was 0.004 in thickness. So we can go ahead and change that anytime. Another thing that we want to do is we want to dimension the tallness or the width of this ring. And we can just as easily click on the top line while we're still under dimension. And I'm going to put the dimension right about there. Okay, so that's 18.3 and everything is in millimeters. So that is the specs that we have here on the sheet. It says, unless otherwise specified, dimensions are all or are in millimeters. So this is called the title page, the title block, and the title block contains all information about the parts. So there's a few other things that we need to do. And here on the top, we have this thing called center mark. So we're going to click on the center mark, and when you click on the edge, it helps us find the center of this object. So it doesn't matter if it's the inside circle or the outside circle, they're both concentric, so they have the same center line. These parts do have a center because it is cylindrical, so we need to put a mark here, and we're going to use this other tool called edge to edge center line. So if we click on one edge and then the other edge, it helps us find where that center is. Let's do the same for the right side. Here we go. Okay, so whenever you're creating a multi-view, you have to put it like in this direction. It almost looks like an L. Front, top, front, right. And then we put this isometric away from the multi-view. So that's sheet 1. And we can click here on where it says sheets, and we can go ahead and label that sheet if we want to rename it. This is the steel ring. Oh, let's see. Okay, check. And let's add another page. Okay, we're going to add another page. And that second sheet will be, let's rename this. This will be the nose cone. Very good. So now we can go ahead and close this part right here. We're going to go ahead and insert, and we're going to look for the nose cone. So let's click on insert, and we have the nose cone, and we just want the nose cone, not the brackets. We'll take care of the brackets another day. And here's the nose cone, what it looks like from the front view, which is exactly what we want. And then we're going to project it to the top view. Now you know what the top view is going to look like. And that's just going to look like a circle, because that's what it looks like from the top. Now, if we were to look at this view from the right side, it would look exactly the same. So you don't have to do this. I just want to show you. So if you click right here and you project it to the right, it's exactly the same thing. So I don't want that. What I do want is, I do want to section this. I want to cut this in half. And for parts that would be thicker, you would probably notice a few other things. But for this one, you're not going to be able to see that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in to the very top. There's a little red triangle. And let's look at the bottom. I want to cut this in half. And what you see right now, those arrows, is sort of like if you cut it and you were looking at the direction of the arrow, that's what you would end up with. So I know it looks exactly the same, but if it were to be thicker, and you can go ahead and play with that, you would see that it would show the thickness, and it would be like a section view. Okay, so now we want to do a few things to this drawing. First of all, let's go ahead and look at the center mark. Okay, there's the center. And I do want to show a few other details. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do the projected view of this part. Let's put it up here in this area on the right, so we can have the isometric view as well. Let's right click it, press escape, right click, show, and we'll click on hidden lines. We want to see the hidden lines, and we're going to right click, show shaded view as well. Okay, that looks great. So now this is our section view. There's a few things that we do want to do, like right click, show. We want to show the sketches that we made so that we can go ahead and put some dimensions. Sketch 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Check. That should show us the sketches that we've made horizontally that would help us with the loft. We're going to do that same thing to the top view. Show and hide sketches. Sketch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's if you made them in order. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dimension this using our dimension tool. Where's our dimension tool? There it is. And as you start putting these dimensions, please keep in mind that you need to keep these at an angle. Never put these like vertical and never put these straight horizontally. So let's keep all of these at an angle. So the first one was 90, and the second one's 83.25. The next one's 69.75. The next one is 45, and the last one will be 9. So keep them nice and separated. So we're almost done with this. We're going to dimension this from the bottom right here, go from the corner, and then go to the middle point. So when you do that, you're going to see that this is like 32. That was the distance between the planes. Let's do another dimension. This is going to be from the center to the center. If you start doing it from the sides, it just behaves really weird. It's just one of those things. Again, go from the center to the center. We'll put this here, 32. And again, from the center to the, let's zoom in right here to the center, and this will be 32. So I'm staggering these dimensions so that you can see that the plane distances are 32. Let's go ahead and make this radius, which was the curvature at the top. And I think last but not least was put a center mark so that we know where that radius is coming from. Okay, let's take a look at this now. We have all the dimensions, we have the heights, and this is pretty much complete. Okay, so one last thing that we needed to do is do the little thickness that we have right here. I know it's very, very minimal. So let's go ahead and dimension that last part from here to here. You can see how it's such a really, really small area. Let's put that dimension right over here where it's not bothering anything else. And we can see how it's 0.04 millimeters on that really, really tiny area. That is the thickness of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's it. That is the nose cone. And we're going to go ahead and stop right here. Thank you.